Okay, so today's class we'll be warming up the core and getting into the hips and the shoulders, and we'll just have our 2 yoga blocks. So we will start out on our back just to get our spine warmed up and ready for the class. So just making your way there in your own time, and have your blocks close to hand for when you need them. So just finding yourself on your mat. Noticing how the spine feels, taking a moment to do any movements you feel like you need, maybe the knees to the chest to lengthen at the back of the spine. And then tucking one shoulder under and then the other. You can take your arms out to a T or whatever feels comfortable here. And then just finding your breath today, seeing where the breath is sitting. Taking a moment to find that inhale and exhale. Just seeing if your breathing pattern is the right flow. So inhaling, as you inhale, the belly will fill up. And as you exhale, the belly will come back in. So you find that flow, seeing if you can lengthen the breath here. Just by softening and slowing it down. As you breathe, starting to pair the breath with some movement in the neck. So just taking the head from side to side, but nice and slowly. As you inhale, can you bring your head all the way to one side? So really slowing down that breath. And then as you exhale, bringing it to the other side. We'll do that one more time on each side, just bringing your head from side to side. As the head comes back to center, just bending the knees, placing the feet on the mat, taking the feet, walking them out wide, wider than the hips, and just gently tipping the knees from side to side. You can start to make this movement bigger or keep it small, just honoring whatever your body needs today. So when we go through the core poses, you could make it big and more challenging. Or if your back is sore, you have lower energy, you want to just maintain your energy, just make it smaller with less effort. And seeing if we can bring this into a bigger movement with the legs, letting them come maybe a little bit further, letting it weight to one side and then take it to the other side. And then you can start to add a little intention here. As the legs come to one side, you can kind of tuck your tailbone under and press the hips forward or press the hips to one side. And then switch. Bit of a stretch to the hip flexor. You can add that little movement. Last one on each side. And then we'll bring it back to center whenever you finish. Just finishing up that last one. Keep those knees or the feet wide, and we're going to bring the knees together. Maybe they tap together, and then back to center, so back to neutral. Just tapping the knees together. So this is kind of stretching the outside, the IT band, just adding a little bit of length on the outer edge of the hips. So the feet are far apart, and then the knees come together or towards one another, and then back to neutral. We'll just do that 3 more times. A little bit of a press. And back. 2 more. And last one. As the knees come together, take the knees into the chest. So the knees are still wide. Press them into the chest. And just give a little rock from side to side. So play with keeping the knees wide here. See what it feels like to rock from side to side. Maybe one leg comes down. We'll come into that bookend movement. So one leg is going to open all the way to the right, and then the left leg will close over to the right, and then the left leg will open all the way to the left, so the right will follow and close to one side. You can use your hands, or you can just use your legs. Just jumping, listening to the spine here, keeping it slow and steady. Warming up the pelvis and the lower spine. We'll just do 1 more on each side, wherever you are. And as you take it back to center, hug the knees into the chest, reach the forehead towards the knees, give a little press. Release the shoulders down, straighten the legs out, bring the arms above the head, pencil stretch. Exhale, tuck it all in. Tuck and press. Inhale, you can do 1 leg at a time, bring it down, pencil stretch. We'll do this 2 more times. Exhale, squeeze it all in. Inhale, straighten out. If your spine is sore, just do 1 leg and then the other. Last one, squeeze. Inhale, stretch. Ending in that pencil stretch. Let's take it to the right for Banana Asana. And just take that right foot to the right, left ankle crosses over. Nice big breath there. And then we'll take it to the left. Bring it over to your left side. Breathing into this Banana Asana. And then we'll bring it back to center, just releasing that hold. Grab onto your block and place it under your hips. So you lift your hips and place it lower down on the hips. So just under where the pant line would be. Of course, we all wear our pants differently. But in a place where if you lift your legs up, you feel supported. So you can even test it out. and then see if you need to adjust. But before we begin, we'll just stay with the block under the hips, with the knees bent and the feet on the mat. See how that feels, and as you breathe down into the pelvis here. We're just gonna soften in the groin, soften in the belly. Keeping the hips as they are, just bring the arms over the head. Nice big inhale, and as you exhale, bring the hands down by the hips. So just nice slow moment. You can think about engaging the core here. Let the hips stay as they are. Inhale, the arms come up. And as you exhale, the arms come down by the hips. Just a really simple movement here, but you can invite the core with the breath. So inhale, soften and kind of stretch the rib cage and belly. You exhale, come really into that exhale. You can just gently tuck the tailbone under and tighten up through the belly. And we'll just do 2 more here. And exhale. Keep the hands down by the hips here. We're going to bring one knee up and then the other. So both shins are parallel to the ceiling. Now if you've done that and you feel like your block's not supporting you, you can just take a moment to adjust. Spine needs to be higher. There we go. So from here, the knees are bent. You can have the option 1 of just dropping one heel and then the other. Option 2 would be to add the arms and involve the brain a little bit. So the right arm will come above the head and the left heel will drop down, or the left toes. Just tap, exhale, squeeze it back in. So finding that core connection here, using your breath and using that exhale to keep the legs steady while the other bits are moving. Finding that connection. We'll do 2 more like that, and then we'll switch it up a little bit. As we finish up those 2 and bring it to center, we're going to open up. So the knees open, the arms open. Exhale, close it up. Let the knees and hands touch and squeeze them together. Then open. Arms are in line with the shoulder, knees are in line with hips. Exhale, close. The tailbone is tucked under just a little bit. You can continue like this, or if you want to straighten the legs and try this, you can too. And close. We'll go for 3 more like that. Nice. Really nice connection. Finishing up that last one. Whenever you finish, place your feet back on the mat. Take the yoga block out from underneath your hips and slowly let those hips come down. And just take a moment here to let your spine settle back in. You can give the hips a little wiggle, or you can squeeze the knees into the chest just to lengthen through the lumbar spine. And just give a little gentle rock from side to side. From here, just hugging that right knee in, stretch that left leg away. A nice big stretch here. You can bring your forehead up towards the knee. See how that feels. Relax the shoulders. Hold here for a moment. Exhale, lower the shoulders down and switch. Taking your time, finding these postures in your time. Exhale, squeeze, bring the forehead up towards the knee. Lower the shoulders back down with control and switch. Roll those shoulders up. Squeeze. Release the shoulders down and switch. So finding that rhythm as you switch, hold, exhale, peel the shoulders off. Inhale, roll them back down and switch. We'll do that one more time on each side. Just finding your rhythm. Moving into my last one here. Hold, peel, squeeze, and release. Relax both legs out, nice and long on the mat. Take the arms above the head. You're gonna roll onto your right side. Place your head in your hand. The bottom knee is bent for support, like a little kickstand. The top leg will be in line with the hip. We're gonna tap it out in front and tap it behind. So option one just stays in line with the hip and focuses on control and steadying the hips. Option two, we take it more into a rainbow, keeping it slow and steady and tapping each corner, the back corner and the top corner. Nice control. See if you can pair this with the breath. Use that exhale for whichever part of this rainbow is harder for the body. Nice, really nice control. We'll go for 3 more if you have it in you. That stretch back can be really nice on the hip flexors. Last one. Bring it out in front. You can just hug the knee in, give a little squeeze. We're gonna put the top leg out in front. You can kind of bend the knee. Then you're gonna straighten out the bottom leg. It can come out in front a little bit too, whatever feels better on the hip. We're gonna try lifting the bottom leg up and down. So you're squeezing the inner thigh to bring it in. Try those little exhales. Really nice. Let's tap it out 3 more times. As much as we're doing the outer hip, we sometimes forget to do the inside, the opposing muscle. So let's get that guy involved. 2 more here. last one. Squeeze and lift. Nice. You're going to bend both knees, stack them up. You're going to come onto your forearm. And these are the side bridges. So you're going to really engage that shoulder, engage the elbow. Everything's pressing into the mat. You can have your hand on your hip, or you can have your hand out in front of you, whatever feels better. You're going to press into your knees and your arm, and the hips are going to come up and down. And you can think about pressing the hips forward and back, or you can just wiggle the hip up and down. So whatever feels easier for you or more conducive for your body, or you can alternate. Hip up and then a bum press. Yes, getting into the side muscles of the core around the waist. Really engaging that shoulder. Pressing it away from the ear. Nice. Let's go for 3 more. You can take a break whenever you need to. Last one. Lower down, stretch that arm out. And just take a little arm stretch there. Hold for a breath. There we go. Okay, while you're here, the top arm's going to come over the ear. And we're going to go for 5 arm and leg connections here. So you can just lift in line with the body. Option 1. Option 2 would be to lift a little bit higher and maybe press into the lower arm for a little engagement. You can always bend the elbow and the knee. So just finding what works for you today. All are good options, so there's no way to lose. As long as we're listening to the body. I like to alternate a little elbow and knee bend, a little straight leg connection. Check out the bottom leg. If you're feeling too wobbly, you can make a kickstand. I always think of a picture frame when I say that. And go a little back into that. Nice. I think I did more than I said. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Let's grab onto that ankle if you can. Relax the leg down. And then think about pressing the hips forward a little bit or just squeezing the glutes. Gentle stretch. You're not pulling the leg in any way. Just holding. And then gently release that. Let's roll it to the other side, or I guess we'll have to switch around. Onto the left side. And then finding your rainbow. So start small, see how the body is, how the balance is doing. Tap it out. And then if you're feeling nice and balanced, you can make it a little higher. Take it a little slower. Nice and controlled. Stay with that breath. We'll go for 3 more. Fighting the urge to do those last 3 faster. Last one. Gonna hug that knee in, give a little squeeze. And then you're gonna place the foot out in front. You can have a knee bent. And then that bottom leg can come slightly out in front as well, just on an angle. And then whenever you're ready, see if you can pulse this leg off the mat. See if you can pair it with those little exhales to really get into the deep core muscles. Maybe you can lift it higher. Whew. Sometimes this notifies the body to tightnesses you didn't know were there. Let's go for 3 more. Okay. Let's straighten out the legs. Take a little stretch here. We'll come into the arm and leg lift. So option 1 in line with the body. Option 2, you can kind of bend and connect. Or just take it a little bit higher. So 3 options. Whatever you do, use that exhale to lift the leg and arm. Just choosing whatever you did on the other side, maybe alternating. Really taking the time to put the leg and arm back in their places. So you're getting that stretch and lengthen as well as the engagement and the shortening of the muscles. Going for 3 more. Grab onto that ankle whenever you come to your last one, and we'll meet in the quad stretch. So just letting that knee come back down if it will, and just gently pressing the hips forward. And then when you finish there, bending the knees, placing them together and placing them on the ground. We're going to bring the elbow under the shoulder. The hand is down on the ground, palm face down. Okay, adjust as you need to. You can have that top arm out in front of you for support or on your hip for less support. Whenever you're ready, press into those legs, press into the elbow, shoulders away from the ear, lift the hips off the ground and place them back down. Start small and see if you can work your way into the movement. Option 1s are just pushing the hips forward and placing the bum back. Forward squeeze. Option 2 is more of a lift the hips up and place them down. Kind of like a twist, which can be a little more difficult for the spine if the core muscles aren't there for support. So 2 options. I'm just going to alternate because I'm liking that today. Hip and bridge. See if you can slow it down. Shoulder stabilizers are going here. If they get uncomfortable, take a break. Remember 3 more. And last one. Whew, and let's stretch that arm underneath us before we move on. Place your head back down. You can place the other arm over top of your ear. And just hold for a moment here. Nice big breath, soften through the belly and groin. And whenever you're ready, rolling onto your stomach. And find your way to your middle of your mat. Place the hands under the shoulders, reach the toes back. I'm going to stretch one leg out behind me and then the other so that the spine is nice and long. Reach forward with the crown of the head, find your baby cobra. Draw those shoulder blades down the spine. And lower down. Take the arms out to a T. From here, you're just going to pulse. So my chin is balancing on the mat, or you can hold your head up. You're just going to pulse the hands off the mat and back down. So you're drawing those shoulder blades together and placing the hands back on the ground. So you've got your wings open and you're retracting the wings and then lengthening. It's just a little movement. You can balance the chin on the ground, or you can keep the back engaged by staring at the mat underneath you. Reaching forward to the crown of the head. Let's go for 3 more pulses. 2 more. The last one. Place those elbows under the shoulders, coming into your cobra position. You can press into those elbows and see if you can lengthen through the chest. Draw those shoulders down, away from the ears, and reach up at the crown of the head. See if you can relax your glutes here, the bum muscles. Now see if you can take a breath into the belly and soften anywhere else you might be squeezing. Exhale as you lower down, reach those arms up in front of you. Make those karate chop hands. From here, you're going to reach your right hand forward and your left toes back, hover them off the mat, and switch. You can press that alternate hand into the mat for support, and switch. I always think of Gumby here, that green stretchy toy. Reaching the arm and leg away, trying to get as long as you can, not as high as you can, but as long as you can, and then placing it back down. You want to add on, make it out into an angle a bit more. So I'm reaching up to the left with my left, and I'm reaching my right leg up to the right, to the corners of the mat. Hover and bring it back. Reach it out, hover, and bring it back. Reach it out, hover, and bring it back. One more time on each side, reach those corners, hover, bring it back. Last one. And bring it back, place the hands under the shoulders, find your child's pose, stretch it back. Or kitten pose, my daughter taught me. Kitten and seal. Nice big breath here. You can just rock from side to side. And then from here, press into your hands, find tabletop position. Take the knees wider than the hips. You're gonna reach the right arm open to the right, and we're gonna flow to the left. So this arm's gonna come down to the center, and the left's gonna open to the left. Let the hips move with you. Of course, this can be smaller and more controlled, and if your shoulders are sore, you can just do elbow dips. You're just pulling your elbow off the mat. Making any little adjustments you need to for your body. One more time on each side. As you take it back to center, keep the hips high and bring the arms, slide them out in front of you, lazy fatty. Forehead or chin can come to the mat, or if they don't reach, just hold the head. Nice big stretch here. We're going to bring one hand back under the shoulders and then the other hand. You're going to tuck the toes and find your downward facing dog. So take your time. Just pedaling out one foot and then the other. Whenever you're ready, bend both knees, gaze forward, and step to the top of the mat. Inhale, find that flat back. Draw those hands on the shins or the thighs, shoulders come back, look at the top of your mat. Exhale, soften and fold. Bend deeply in the knees, so you're almost sitting back into a chair, and then bring yourself up to standing. Exhale the hands down through center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift, find that flat back. Exhale, fold. We're going to send the right leg back for a high lunge. And then you're going to windmill the arms up and turn it into warrior two. Yeah, take a moment to find your warrior two. Big bend in the front knee. And then it's like you're pressing your mat away with your feet. So they're nice and active. We're going to tap the back leg and reach up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, extended side angle, I'm going to place my elbow on my front knee. The top arm comes straight up or over the ear if you have the flexibility today. Fire up the core, we're going to bring it right back. We're going to flow right into that again. Exalted warrior. This can be really soft. You don't have to go deep into it. And this one can be gentle too. Extended side angle, just a soft placement of the elbow. Last one, bring it all the way back up. We're going to pivot on the ball of the back foot to come back into that high lunge. Bring the arms up. As you exhale, you're going to step to the top of the mat. Whew, big step. Inhale, bring it up. Nice, whenever you're ready. And then exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take a big step back with the left foot. High lunge. Sweep those arms up, and then you're going to pivot on the back foot and find your warrior two. Slowly make your way into exalted. So touch your back leg, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, extended side angle. Keep it gentle, bring it back. Fire up that core, slow and steady. Exalted. Extended side angle, nice and slow. Back to warrior two. Nice. We're going to pivot on the ball of that back foot so that you're in your high lunge again. Sweep those arms up. Whenever you're ready, exhale, step to the top of your mat, or take 2 steps, whatever you need. Nice. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees so that you're sitting in a squat or in a little chair. Yeah. Place the hands up to the chest. You can hold it here or have a little balance play here where we lean to the left and tap the right foot out. Lean to the right. Tap the left foot out. Almost like a little strange dance move. Woo! Nice and strong. We'll try one more on each side. We're not taking ourselves too seriously here. Woo. Last one. Oh, and then reach it all the way up whenever you've finished. Come up to the tippy toes. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Have your blocks at the top of the mat. I'm taking this little fold to arrange my blocks properly. And then find your low lunge with the right leg back. Using those blocks to support you. If there's too much pressure on that knee, just untuck your back toes. I'm going to have those blocks right under my shoulders for support. Relax to the hips here as much as you can. Deep stretch, nice big breath. So you can stay here. Another option is to take the block that's in the right hand out to the right even more, just off your yoga mat. You're going to lean into that. You can place your left hand on your left hip and gently twist toward that knee that's in front of you. Just see how that feels. You're gonna bring it back to center. Send the hips back and find your hamstring stretch. So you can keep it gentle, right as they are. Or you could walk those blocks forward and come into a bit of a split stretch. Wherever you choose to be, hold for a breath. See if you can soften into it. And then from here, coming back into that low lunge. So I'm just gonna press into my blocks. Stretch it up one last time. Okay, we're gonna tuck the back toes under. Straighten the back leg. So I'm really using my blocks here now. Yeah. And then from here, take 2 steps or 1 step all the way to the top of the mat. Do 1 and 2. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring it all the way up to standing. Exhale the hands down through center. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift. Bend the knees and send that left leg back. Find that low lunge on the other side. Take your time. Get fully supported here. And then take a moment to really try to relax the muscles into it. Option to stay here, or you can continue to flow, just placing the left block out to the left a little bit more. Lean into that block so you're really supported there. The right hand comes onto the right hip. And then perhaps you send the chest towards that knee that's in front of you a little bit for a little bit of a twist. And then take it back to center. You're going to send the hips back. Find your hamstring stretch. Option to do the split stretch, or just stay as you are, see if you can soften to the kneecap. For the more flexible people, perhaps bowing over that front leg. Otherwise, just using that block to support you. One more breath here. As you exhale, we're going to bring it back to the lunge whenever you're ready. Take those blocks with you. You're going to come high on the back toes so that you're in your high lunge or your lifted lunge in the back there. And then 2 steps or 1 step, come all the way to the top. So you kind of got to lift the core up. Bam. Inhale, halfway lift, or just get there however you need to. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, dive forward. Grab onto those blocks. We're going to place the blocks over to the right, or the left a little bit. The left. You bend the knees and lean into those blocks. Lean into that left foot. The right foot's going to come straight back and tap it in. Press those blocks away from you so the shoulders are engaged. Slight bend to the leg that's supporting you. You're tapping and tapping. And if you just do it off the mat a little bit, that's okay too. So you can just practice maybe a foot off the mat. If you have more flexibility here and strength, you can bring it all the way in line with the body, tap it back in. Make sure the breath is involved. We're exhaling to protect the core and back. Exhale as you lift. Let it come back in. Go for 2 more. Gazing at the top of the mat so the neck's not sloppy. And then bring that leg in, bend your knees, reach up. Reach up, 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 nice big stretch here. Exhale, dive forward. Let's take it to the other side. Grab onto those blocks. You can keep the head above the heart so you don't get dizzy. Bring the blocks to the right. Bend the knees. Lean into the right leg. And then extend the left leg up. And in. It can go straight back behind you. Yeah, behind your balance. Again, these can be small. We don't have to try to compete with ourselves here. We can just take little taps and see how it feels. We can bring it into more balance if we're feeling more balanced. Nice. A full body engagement here. The shoulders are engaged, the core is engaged, the glutes and legs are engaged, and the hip stabilizers are working hard. Let's go for 3 more if you have it. Otherwise, take a break whenever you need to. Stay with that exhale as you lift. This is a movement I practice a lot, so I kick it all the way up. But if you're just starting this movement, keep it low and steady. Okay, let's bring it all the way in. Bend the knees. Bend over your knees so you're in a forward fold, but your knees are bent deeply. We're going to lean into the heels and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. You're kind of springing up through the middle of the back and then standing up like a zombie, tucking the bum under and just slowly finding that movement so we don't get too dizzy here. Shoulders, the head comes last. Take a moment here before you snap out of it and just connect to the feet, the palms face forward. Relax the shoulders down the spine. The chin is level to the ground, so notice if you're a chin tucker or a chin jutter. Find your center. Draw up through the back of the head, nice and tall. And take the legs wider. Stay with this balance, fully connected here. Just lean over to the left. So you can stay like that, or you can lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. You're gonna bring it down to center and do the same on the other side, just leaning to the right and stay with that connection to the body. Continue to flow from side to side here. Find a pace that works. I'm just gonna do one more on each side. Nice and slowly. Last one. Bring it back to center. Take those arms behind you. Maybe the hands can come together. If not, just press them back. Gonna bend through the knees. Reach forward with the chest. A little bit of a bend here. Stretching those arms behind you. Just finding this in your body, going as far as you'd like to. And then you're going to roll out of it, just like we did with the standing roll up. You can start to relax the arms. The top of the spine comes towards the ceiling, the bum tucks under, one vertebrae at a time. The shoulders will start to come in line, and then the head will start to come in line, kind of like you're stacking blocks. Standing up nice and tall again. You can keep the eyes closed or soft. Relax the bum, relax the hips. Fix the chin. Nice big breath here. We're just in a mountain pose with the legs a little wider. Soften the kneecaps. Draw your weight into your heels. And exhale, just let it go. Give your body a little wiggle and shake. We're going to come down to the mat, and you can sit on your blocks for support if you have tighter hips. You can even make a block tower, whatever you like, or you can just sit on your mat. One block's enough, I think. If you are using your blocks just to untuck your tail, just try to roll off the block so that it's just holding like the meaty part in your sit bones. So the rest of your hips come forward. Yeah. Draw the shoulders down. We're just going within here as we drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Just slowing down the breath. Exhale, draw it around to the other side, just moving at a pace that works for you. We're doing that from side to side, but very slowly with intention. Being very aware of the neck. And noticing where this stretch connects to other parts of the body. Perhaps you feel it down your back, in your shoulders, front of your neck. Just really tuning into the body. As the ear makes it over one shoulder, see what it feels like to tilt the head back a little bit and point the chin to the corner. Maybe you find the stretch in the front of the neck. And then take it down to the other side. Last one on each side. And bring it back to center. Bring the chin down towards the chest and hold for a moment here. Soften through the shoulders. Just allow the head to hang heavy here. Take a nice big breath. As you exhale, start to bring the chin to center, nice and slowly. So you're stacking the spine again. And then if it's comfortable for your body, bringing the chin up towards the ceiling. You can even draw the chin forward, stretching the front of the neck. Bring it back to center. We're going to hold here. You can choose to do your meditation on the mat or in seated. So whichever option works best for you. Taking the time to either roll yourself down onto your mat or stay in a seated position. If you're on your back, just taking a moment to let your spine settle in. You can keep the knees bent or have the legs extended. Whichever position you choose, drawing those shoulders down and away from the ears. If you're in seated still, just change the way your legs are crossed. So cross them the other way. So both hips get a fighting chance. Both sides of the hip. There we go. Just taking these final moments to go within, soften the breath. Perhaps changing the breath. Seeing if you can create a sound across the back of your throat as you breathe. Almost as if you're fogging up a mirror with your mouth closed. Or cleaning your glasses, that like movement, but making that same sound with the lips sealed. On the inhale and the exhale. Notice if you're holding tension in the face and see if you can soften the jaw, even letting the jaw part slightly. For those of us who clench, I am one of those people. You could even invite a little massage around the jaw with your fingertips. Just bringing some attention there. Allowing the belly to be soft. Noticing any energy that's been moved around. You can feel the energy moving. You have the option to close the practice on your back, or if you'd like to bring yourself up to seated, just rolling onto one side. Pausing there and taking a couple breaths. Inhale, just bringing in some energy, and exhale, just sighing out anything else you want to get rid of. Pressing yourself up to seated if you'd like. Finding that tall seat if you're not there already. Inhale, reach those arms out. Nice big stretch. Bring the hands together. Exhale, draw the hands down. Give a little wiggle between the brows. Brow furrow. And gently bowing internally towards yourself and everybody who makes this practice possible. Closing our practice. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.